is this little Roku Express, and it works pretty good. Okay, but I would suggest you not get the Express if you really want to take full advantage of Roku, because you want to go up one more. Because if you go up the next level, which is like, let's see, like one of these, this Premier Business, you can stream directly to it from your phone. So you can just say, you know, push your phone, almost like a Chromecast is built into the system. And it can do a lot more stuff. I think they have a bigger version, you know, which has the little earphones, you know, right at the remote control, which is pretty cool too, if you want to watch TV private or whatever. I personally put a Bluetooth transmitter on my TV so I can just transmit it across the room into the stereo that's Bluetooth receiving. So I don't have any wires. The other thing is there's some old ones, which I also have. They work the same way, and I'm looking to see if I see any. And I do not. I don't even see them on here anymore. But they're sort of round, and let's see here. Yeah, I don't even see them anymore. But they're like little round, guppy looking. Yeah, they're sort of like this. Sort of like this. But this is actually even newer looking than the ones that I have. So anyway, this is Roku, or the Roku TV component. All right. And what happens is once you get a Roku system, you can download images, and I'll show you that right now. Let me see if let me see here. Let me share in advanced this from my camera. All right, so turn on the camera content, and you'll see right there. Okay, so what I have is on my Roku, I have the ability to use this remote, by the way. And notice up there, that's my little teeny Roku up there. But I've made these channels, which is that channel, which is Billboard TV Network. I've made the OPN TV Network, and I made this one here, which is my Film Masters Network or something like that. Now, I have not made them public yet, and that's another process. So once you set up your channels, you can play with them on your Roku as if they're live, but no one else can see them unless you give them your little URL and they can install, but it won't be listed in Roku itself, okay? So let me go up there first and show you. This is the one that we're gonna be working with, so I'm gonna hit it. Notice it has a nice login, a little logo thing, and then it has the stuff I like. So I got, you know, my news that I like to watch. I have my sort of old stuff, like old TV and folk TV, you know, all this kind of stuff. I've added all these channels to this system, okay? And I'm letting you see this because that way, once you see this, I'm gonna show you how I did it inside the system. So let's go back a little bit more. So that's all the stuff. So Al Jazeera, some other, I forget what that's called, RT, I don't know what that even is. What is that? World News something. I like news. CNN, BBC, Sky News is pretty good too. Animal Planet, Al Jazeera again. And then some of these other stuff, I just put these in because I want to test it. So like a sports, news, sports, classic stuff. This is like old kind of TV. Now, if I didn't start one, let me start one. What happens, you'll see it starts to load it up to stream.
Called the high-touch model.
And there you go.
May not be viable due to funding and how farmers want to get information.
All right.
While that old
if I want to get out of it,
and
get back and let me pick like some live streams like Al Jazeera, which I actually look at a lot. I really like this channel. So you see it's live news. Okay. And then I'll just get back out of it again. So now let me switch back over to the other system. And let me go to my share and go to basic and go back to the screen. Boom. All right, so back to the screen. Now, you saw how it looked. So any questions so far with that part of it? Because I'm going to show you how I created that part. And I opened up the chat window. Are you guys ready to go then? Got that? Okay. All right, let me minimize that again. So now, the first thing you got to do in Roku to get a system set up is to, and this is what I did first. First, I'd set up my website under WordPress, and this is what you have to add. So let me go to the dashboard. I'm assuming you guys know WordPress. I'm not going to go into that too much. But once you install WordPress, you need to install an app. And that app is called WP Smart TV. Okay, so if we put this up here, WP Smart TV, and it's, you know, and you can't find it. It's very, very, it's a phantom plugin. Nobody knows about it. Okay, so it's a plugin directly set up to work from within WordPress to control Rokus. Okay, you can download it free. It is amazing. It has very, very good support, and it just doesn't do just Roku. It does Fire Stick also, and Amazon, you know, the Amazon Fire TV or whatever. So it does that also. And you have to add more stuff to it. You know, like if I were to go to the actual website of Smart TV, they have all these what's called add-ons. Let me get this out of here. So I go to the product, the actual product, that's Smart TV. That's the actual plugin, okay, that can control Roku, and that's totally free. If I go back, you'll see that there's some add-ons, and those add-ons are what give you, why does it keep doing that? Get rid of that. Okay, see, I already do live stream, so it's not even a big deal. I'm gonna have to look at what they're talking about here, but anyway, see, there's the Fire TV creator. There's a Vimeo Pro component, which will it'll rip the videos that you upload to Vimeo Pro for you, so you don't have to like try to figure out what the URLs and all that kind of stuff are. But you have to have Vimeo Pro if you're going to use this system or some other server that can handle the bandwidth of Roku. Roku is a bandwidth eater, because when you upload your first channel and you go live and they'll accept your channel, they publicize that thing and you might get 10,000 installs in a few hours. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you can't handle it, you'll shut your server down. So you never want to put your videos that you're going to stream on your own website server. So you need like an Amazon server or something big. And I'm going to tell you right now, the people that I know that use Vimeo Pro, which is like a couple $100 a year, they've all bumped it, and now they're paying over $5,000 a year for Vimeo. It becomes custom because of their bandwidth. But I do it a totally different way. I use my own servers. I use a dedicated server, which start at $50 a month, and if I go any higher than that, maybe a couple $100 a month. But you should be making money by then. Okay, so it should be paying for itself. Make sure I'm not missing any. There is a chat that came up. Okay, so that was already okay. Okay, so anyway, so those are the little things. I don't know what this is, so I need to look at it. It says plugin extends Smart TV to include support for HLS line. That's already in the system, so I don't know why they're even saying this. Let me click on it one time. But this is already in the regular plugin. I don't understand. They're going to charge $50 a year for $49 for this thing. Well, this is already in the system. So let me see. If I does not currently support live stream, it will include support as soon as they do. See, that's the thing. This doesn't. I don't get this, because I'm going to show you exactly what I did, and you'll see that it already handles this. It's weird. Plugin extends W Smart include support for LS. That don't even make sense. Anyway, so that's the plugin though. All right, so let's kill that. And I'm going to show you that I have the plugin installed. All right, so if I look at my installation, you'll see I should be up to date. And this stuff's going to be a little slow because I'm actually streaming also. Let's see, where's it at? There you go, right here. So I'm up to 2.05. All right, and it even says right here, took it for video streaming service using WordPress. Okay, that's fine. Once you install it, you got to do some things. So let's say you installed the plugin. You need to go over here. Here's on the left-hand side, it says WP Smart. The first thing you need to do is do some general setup. So let's look at the general settings. All right. So see these little tabs here? If you activate these, it gives you the ability over here to have them. See right here it says movies, videos, episodes, and series. Okay. And this here says my TV specials. So I forgot I had that too. So there's 4 different things here. And let me look at this here. Movies. Why do I see 5 things when I see 4 things here? I see movies, short videos, series, and specials. Movies, then I see videos, episodes, series, and specials. So one of these must open up something else. When you enable series, it must open up one of these. But anyway, I turn these off and on. These will go away. I turn them all on because I want to play with all of them. The other thing is you need to do is if you want to enable controls for advertising and stuff. Okay. Now I'm not using that right now because you have the ability to inject advertising into the system. And I'm not doing that right now. But it has that ability so that you can monetize your videos. Okay. Let me look at another thing. Now you can also, if I do an import export, I think you can use this to move directly from one system to another. Okay. So you can move a JSON file, and that's the other thing. The JSON file is the file that you use that Roku reads. Roku reads this file. Now you can't import like if you can export it here, but you can't import it into Roku. Roku needs to see a live URL for this. But there's other Roku developing systems that need to have this file that you can upload directly to the system. It's sort of stupid because every time you add a video, it changes the JSON file. So it doesn't make sense. So you just give it the URL and it does the rest of the work. And the resources, I think it gives you all the videos and stuff. So here's the, shows you different things on how to use it, how to set it up. It has videos on how to do it. I mean, it's the best system I've ever seen. It has all the instructions built right into the plugin. It has upgrades built into the plugin. They even show you some recommended hosting systems, all kind of stuff like that, okay? All right, so let's say that we are actually done with the setup. Let me show you now what we need to do on the Roku side first before we can get going. All right, and let me back up. There's one thing you need to get from here while you're going to go set up the Roku. And that, if we scroll down, is, let me see where that is. Is it this one here? Let's just see. There, yeah, that's it. So under the tab where it says Roku DP, this URL right here is the key to making Roku work. If I were to highlight this and copy it, put it in a browser, you'll see what it is. All right, see all that code right there? All that code is telling Roku what to do. It's like producing your video list or whatever it is to play, like a playlist. Is basically what it is. It really is like a playlist. If you look real close, you can see like the provider name, the language, the titles and categories, and you'll see like the URLs of videos and stuff like that, that kind of thing. So that's what Roku requires, okay? And notice to turn all this stuff, enable categories in the feed, all this stuff we need. And this is all in the videos telling you how this works, okay? I set this to -1, and it tells you right here so you can have unlimited content instead of it stopping at some level. They do have an advertising tab, which I don't use. And this is the stuff that you require to set up when you're building your advertising engine that goes into the system, and I don't do it. The recipe builder, let's look at that. Recipe builder is how you produce those categories. Remember the video I showed you where it had news, sports, classics? Well, these are called recipes. So you set up this category and you set up how that system works. So when people do a search, they can go to the news and they can search with news or one of these categories right here. Okay. And the system sort of pulls up the categories for you. So I've tagged a couple of different categories for the news, tagged a couple for the for sports. It's got fighting, wrestling, and then under classics, I got action, classics. I actually should do that one too. Comedy, history, romance, that kind of stuff. And then when I'm done with that, I just save it. Later on, Roku will pick it up. Now, when you're in this test mode with Roku and you're not a live channel, the channel won't go and update your system on its own. You have to do it by itself, manually, and I'm gonna show you how that's done. So now we got that set up. I'm not gonna show you how to add the videos yet, but we have this set up. Remember, we needed this URL right here. I'm gonna direct publish. It's called a direct publishing URL. This URL right here, and we're gonna now we would copy that, but I'm not gonna do it for real. I'm just gonna show you where it goes. Now we would go over into Roku itself and log in. So I'm going to log in, and Roku pisses me off because it logs you out like every 5 minutes. Traffic lights. I hate this thing. See if I can get it. Nope. Traffic lights. Maybe they need the whole piece. Okay. All right. So I'm in the system, and it took me right to where I don't want to go. I think I need to go to developer. Go to the dashboard, and this is where we're going. My channels. And if you don't have any channels, when you go to my channels, it allows you to produce a channel. So see, add channel. Well, I have 3 channels that I've already added. So, and you have to make them so they are direct publishing versions, because there's another way that you can program them, but you want any channel a direct publishing type. Okay, it allows the Roku component to work, or the WordPress to work. So let's go into this one. Notice they say unpublished. I didn't make them public. So I'm going to click on this one. See if there's any chat stuff. Nope. Okay, good. All right. Now, they first will give you, this is like called a vanity channel, or the URL. So if I were to give anybody this URL right there, they can actually add this to their Roku, and they can see my channel. Now, let me tell you what's so funny about that. What that tells you is, I guarantee you, there's a whole bunch of pirate channels out there that no one knows about, that's showing all kind of God knows whatever, but they never make it public. Because it works the same, it's just that it's not public. And you know it's true. Anyway, these are all the things we have got to do to get them set up. Remember that feed URL I was telling you about? Well, that one has to go in this area called feed URL. Pretty simple. But let's start from the beginning. So as if we were going to create a new one, it's going to ask you to fill out all this stuff. So we go to properties, as if we're starting new, made it US, and you can make them different countries, but if you don't like have stuff that's pertinent to the country, it sort of maybe not make sense. So I could make it Mexico and some of the rest of the world, whatever. But you know, who knows? I just got mine at US. Over here is very important, where you know, you set your age. Mine is not directed to children under 13. So it's not, I mean, I could have anything on there. This one would be specifically for people on 13 and under. Okay, don't want to do that one unless you're truly doing like Cartoon Network or something, which sometimes is not for 13-year-olds. My content is not rated. And I made myself a vanity code, which is the Billboard Network. So that's my vanity URL I could give to someone. You know, so it's my Roku.com ad and then my vanity URL. Okay, like anything else would be. Let me see, we'll go down to the next part. Feed URL. You put in that same URL I showed you here earlier, right there. and then save it. And you tell it that the feed is specifically formatted for Roku, not for anybody else. And there's like these other options. See, there's some streaming stuff, whatever. You're making it for Roku itself. Next, we go to the feed status. This area is how you manually update the status. So if you go over here and add a video to the system over here, I will have to go back once it's saved, go back over here and hit refresh now, because this only works manually when you're a vanity and when you're not a live system. When the system is live in public, it comes around all by itself. I don't know, every hour or so, and ingest what's in your feed. Okay, so that's the feed, and it ingests the items. I have 13 items. That means I have 13 videos, somethings up there that can stream. Okay, and I have no errors actually. And you know what I'm looking at? And I'm taking that back. Look at this. They have turned on automatics. Look at this. They've already they've done it in the middle of the night. They did it today. I mean, the other day, during the day. They've done it in the morning this morning. So it looks like they're doing it almost every 6 hours or something like that. Oh no, more than that. What is that? That's 124 to 717. So maybe 5 hours or so. So I guess you could just upload it and then it would do itself within 5 hours. But I forced mine so I can see it work. Okay. Any questions? Nope. Okay. So the next one, we go down here to branding. Now this is where all the work comes in. So to make a channel work, you got to add all these graphics. Okay, and they'll tell you exactly what it is. The channel logo, and they tell you exactly what size it is, what type of file it is. Okay, and they're very, very specific. And if it don't work, it just fails. I mean, it'll just fail. And you can't get past the screen. So I got splash screen. That's a big one. When you remember when I first turned on the channel, it showed that big old, BTV logo. Well, that was that big 1920 by 1080 deal. That's my little search logo. And I just made a version of each one of them so they work. I didn't really care what they looked like. Okay, but I did something. And then let me see, go down to layout. You have the ability to set up the way it looks. So I have mine set up as this standard mode, but I could set up for hero. I might do that anyway. Set up for hero. All right. And let me see what else I got. That was layouts. Categories. I'm getting my categories from the feed, so I don't have to do it. Let me tell you, it is difficult to set up the categories on Roku itself. It's easy to set them up inside inside of WordPress. And then I just told it to pull my categories directly from my feed from WordPress. Okay. The next thing was channel store information. That tells all about who you are. This shouldn't be Fire Your Webmaster. This should be, Billboard TV Network, actually. Oh, had a little comma behind it. They're very particular. Okay, so that's that. Little description, all this other kind of stuff. Put my real domain in there also. This is the stuff that people are going to find when they go and search the channel once it becomes live. So when you go to the channel store, all this stuff will be shown. Okay, and it's good to put your website in there. I got my phone number in there. And that might not be that great. People be calling me like crazy. But all that kind of stuff. I didn't put much in this 1,400 character thing. That's the whole freaking thing. And I'm not doing that. Another channel poster. Just a special interest, and my region is in the United States. All right, the next one is monetization. And it's taking a while. So I'm saying, do I plan to monetize your content with video advertisement? I said no, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing at that point for this. I'll say yes later when I make this a real deal, because my monetization really is on the other side, in the video stuff itself. They have some rules about all this stuff, so you got to look at all those rules. You see all this stuff they talk about. They got guidelines and all this stuff. Go down here to screenshots. Oh, this is different. I don't remember seeing this. Oh, how was I auto-generated? What does it do? Huh! It pulled one of my, it pulled the screenshot from it. That's cool. Let me save that. Oh, I had me a better one later. All right, so that was, that's a different area. Let me see here. Screenshots. That's where I was. Then we have support information, which is almost like the same stuff. It's like who you are and your website and all this stuff. It's this information. And then they give the real stuff. So if there's an issue, this is who they're going to contact, you know, for this channel. Remember, we're still working over at the Roku area. So remember, we got set up all the stuff where we even do anything over there at the WordPress side. And then we go out here to preview and publish. That's where we were. Now, I could publish it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to publish it right now because I'm not done with this. And what they want to do, they really want you to have about 10 things in there that, you know, so they can check it to make sure you're like a real channel and they approve you, okay? Looks like I got a chat. Hold on for a minute. All right, so we got blah, blah, blah. How do you create your logos? Get a Google Voice phone, Fiverr, cheap. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Let me tell you, Fiverr is great. Just have them do it for a couple, you know, $5 or $6. You know, they give you all the numbers and stuff. You know, like size and dimension, all the stuff. Use a Fiverr guy. I happen to be a graphic guy, so I use, you know, I use my own photo impact to do all my stuff. Okay, but that's what I would do. All right, let me minimize that. So now we're really done. We do not want to publish it, but right now you can literally go and add this to your system because it's already there. So it's going to show up in your system. Now let me show you how to get it over into your Roku. So once you said add this, this is what you have to do. So now I'm going to switch over to the video again. And let me go to share and turn my camera back on. Go to advanced and go to from my second camera and share. Okay, so here's what you have to do over at the Roku side. So once you got all that set up, you go to, because my Roku's in like sleep mode right now. So you go to the home, go all the way home actually. And then you have to go over here to settings. Let's see here. Try to do this with two hands. And go over to network and go to system. Once you hit system, then you go to system update. When you do that, that will update and check the system to see if you're, you know, to update your channel that you told to go into your system. When I go back, if it wasn't there, now it would show up in one of these. That's how these show up, like the VT network and all that kind of stuff. When I hit this now, see that was that logo I created. And again, you notice those are the description area and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So, and I'm going to show you, if I go to somewhere like Al Jazeera, notice that's a HLS where it said you need to pay extra for. And look, that is straight up streaming from an HLS URL. And it's nice and crispy clear and whatever. Okay, so let me get out. Let's go back to the website now. So let me see how I can do that. Change my share mode. And it's not coming up for some reason. There we go. Basic and back to that. All right. I'm liking this, switching from one to the other. Go say, now, we've already done the Roku stuff. Now let's go over into the WordPress installation. So now here's how you add those different videos. First off, you have to know where a video is. So we go over here and I'm just doing videos, no movies, no episodes, no TV series, no nothing. Okay, so I'm going to go to my videos and you'll see a list of videos. See, these are all my videos here. Should be 13 of them, according to the system. So let's look at why I tell you that it can handle just direct HLS. HLS means the live stream URL, okay? If I look at like Al Jazeera, for instance, let's just edit it. And every video requires artwork piece, and the artwork requires it to be at least 800 by 400 or something like that. But what I always put in is a 1024 by 576 because they're looking for that ratio. So remember, 1024 by 576 is what you want in the featured image. That featured image becomes that artwork that you see on the Roku channel for the channels. Okay, remember that. That is the image that's used. Now, when I go and add a channel, I add, the channel name, some description stuff. And what I did was I added another plugin where I can add my URL right here so it can stream directly from the website. And I'll show you that in a minute. That way, they can go to the website and look at my streams, or they can go to Roku and look at my streams. So they can see my streams even on their mobile phone if they want to. So we go down here, and here's the real data. All right, so, and it's sort of weird how this thing shakes, but that's the media URL. Notice that the URL is, let me get rid of this, is a wacky URL. And it does not work in a browser. So if you plug it in, if I do this, it's just going to try to download. Notice it's a M3U8. Those are normally used in media streams, in playlists. And that's what it really is. It's a piece of a playlist. But you can't play it. Now, I can take that, let me minimize all this stuff. If I go and use VLC, VLC has the ability to stream stuff. This is how I test my URLs to find channels. I'll go here to go, let's see, open network stream, put in that. And by the way, you cannot use YouTube or anything like that. Those are not, you can't use those. If I play this, watch what happens. Now watch how it's screwed up, and then notice that it can have a higher bandwidth, and watch.
And dozens of climate activists have paid their final respects to a Swiss glacier that is
boom,
to completely
went 4K. See that?
The Pitzol Glacier in the Garros.
So we know that's a good stream. That's how you can test it. Okay, we go back to the website. So that's the stream I put in place. And like I told you, I tested it first before I put it in. Notice right in the plugin, it says HLS. So they're trying to sell you a plugin that the thing already does for another $50 a year. That's just not right. It's right there. Okay, and that's a HLS stream that I'm using. The duration you need to tell it. Now, because it's a live stream, there's no way to do unlimited. And maybe that's what they do. Maybe when you added that plugin, they made it so you can do unlimited time. Maybe that's the only thing it does. What I do is I set it for a couple hours. If anybody's watching one channel for a couple hours, they can make it, if it shuts off, they can always restart it, because that's what happened. In 2 hours time, it's gonna go to the next channel by itself on Roku, or it's gonna come up and say, do you still wanna watch this channel? Okay, and that's how I sort of put it in, 7,200 seconds, which is 2 hours. Notice I could pick the format right there, video format, HLS. If it was a MP4 somewhere, then I would change that to an MP4, a MOV, or whatever. Okay, there's different kind of formats you use. But for live streams, you use HLS, okay? I told it to go to HD, which is 1080p. That's why when I put it inside that other streaming stuff, it didn't know what the resolution was, so it just sit there and checked them, and then locked into probably the 1080p. I told it to be 1080p all by itself. I also told the genre to be news, and it's unrated, okay? There's some advanced controls. If you have the other options, you can set stuff up for Amazon Fire. That would be the thumbnail for the Amazon, and it gives you what the resolution should be. But all the other stuff will be used like normal. So this one setup can control both systems. And I also uploaded the image that's going to be on the Roku itself. Here, you put in tags. I put in tag of news, and it works with the Roku component. And I just publish it just like normal. Once this happens, it gets built into that JSON file, and then Roku itself will go and refresh it every 5 hours, or you can go and do a feed status, I think it is, and hit refresh on your own. Sometimes you got to do this a couple times to make it work. And I always look at this time to make sure it happened, because sometimes you keep doing it, won't do anything. You keep doing it, then also you see the time. If it gives you errors, you can just click on it and tell you what the error is, like, image is not the right size, or it can't find a URL or whatever. And then go over to your Roku and do that system update thing, and then it'll update it, and you'll see it, or it'll update itself, after a few hours. Okay. Any questions at this moment? I know there's a lot. Any questions? Look like I might have got it done in a half hour. In an hour. Okay, cool. All right. Now, let me show you something else. That is an HLS feed. Okay, that's a live feed. So don't forget the fact they say you can't do live feed. You can do live feeds. All right. Now, let me show you how I can show them on the website too, even though you can't see a live feed on the website. I'll open up the website in another browser from the front side. And what I created was like a little thing that shows my channel. See that right there? So let me go to news. And you see I have these. And let's look at Al Jazeera. So I'm going to go and look at that, even though it shows the whole thing. I'm going to go directly to that channel. And watch.
Minosi scored their 7th and final
See?
try in a 47-20.
So I'm doing it right from the website, and I can even do this, and it's full.
Final say on the day.
And this would be on your laptop or on your phone or whatever.
Lawrence Smith, Al Jazeera.
Okay. So literally,
He stopped playing.
pause it. So literally, I've made it so that Roku can display it. My website can display it, but you got to do it twice. So it's not like you can upload the video, but then you got to go and add the video too into your into like this right here. So I added the video here after I had that plugin, and I used, I think, this right here. Once that the plugin is installed, it gives me this little guy right here. And then when I say insert it, I can tell it what kind of stream it is, all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. The poster size, loops, all this stuff. And now I say insert video, and it produces this short code right here. Okay. So I'm using two different plugins, the plugin from the smart TV people, and then another plugin that allows me to stream video from a regular website. Notice how it says HLS right there, okay, because this is a live stream. Now let me see if I have any other videos that are not live, which I don't. But if I were, I would just say under my video or any one of these, add new post. And the title itself, the description, like normal, all this other stuff. This is the image that you get created for your channel art. But the URL could be a regular MP4 or something. And that video would have to be stored also in a place that's public to the world. It would have to be able to be inside of here. Now I have a whole set of these things. Let me go here and look. Let me minimize that. And let's see. I think I have them in here under sample ads, under live stream. And I have a little thing here. Let's see here. Yep. So I have done a lot of research. They're hard to find, but they also don't work all the time. So, I go through here and I just try each one of these things, and it's the URL that you're looking for. Okay, in this case, let me see how many streams I have. If I copy this, because that's that for every one of them. If I say edit, find, I can't do it this way. Let me see here. I don't think it's going to tell me how many there are. It just finds the next one. If I put this in a URL, I mean, I can do it with a Control F. I think it's like 3,300 and some of these. There's just tons and tons and tons. You see Australia TV. I mean, it's just radio plus TV. It's just so many live streams out there. You can make your own channel full of this stuff, and then monetize it, and you can be making money off this stuff. So that's really about it. Now, there's different kind of things. I just showed you video, but there's like episodes. So if we do my episode, I should have said add an episode. If I say add an episode, the screen looks different. Watch this. They're complicated. So you got the same stuff, but now you have, let's see, this one's not like that. Yeah, these are just individual episodes. But see, you got to have a season, you got to have an episode number. It's just all this stuff. And then it sets it up on the web, I mean on the Roku, where it has like, you know, the title and then all the seasons in place. Now I'm not getting into all that. Then you can do the same thing with series. I use just videos or movies. If I add a movie, it looks just like the video. You see that? Nothing extra to add to it. But remember, the feature image is the actual artwork for that movie or video, whatever you're going to do. And it has to be a certain ratio. Use 1024 by 576 and you'll never go wrong. All right, that's really basically it. So any questions? Let's see, there might be some.